Hello and welcome to the Green Machine. We are live, and as always, we are sexy. I'm Dave, your host, joined by Nick and Martin. It is International Window Day. Didn't think that went through. International Window Day. We're celebrating, lads, and we have a lovely show for you guys. We're going to be basically talking about Armenia, which one particular chap on Lansdowne Road took exception with. Apparently, he doesn't. Anyway, we'll talk about that later on. Lads, how are you doing? Nick, sporting a blue Courtney thing.
Yeah,
well done.
Yeah, thank you, Jonathan, for designing this. Yeah, absolute beauty.
Fantastic. Where's it from? Elvis, was it that one? Very rare then, there, aren't they?
Yeah.
Is that one of the?
Did I come off a boat in China?
They only made about 17 of them, so I was very, very privileged to get one.
Yeah. Not that one though. That looked like it certainly came from like a Black Street Market somewhere. Sweatshop. Well, we certainly got off to a great start. Martin, looking lovely there with your we see the full face now. We got all the jerseys in the background, your pennants and everything. How are you doing? I suppose
good, thanks.
Both be very happy because Manchester United are the Everton of Manchester, and you rejoice in big.
It's been a great it's been a great week. Yeah, it's been a great week.
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, no, fair play. Well done to Liverpool for matching Arsenal's achievement in winning the domestic cups.
Yeah. I don't think Arsenal got to the Champions League final though.
No, but
I don't think United did either. I don't think they will be for a long time.
Trophies at the end of the season, though, isn't it? That's what it's all about.
Yeah, which you have done.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what? You should actually let United play in the Charity Shield because that would be charity. And
we won the FAU Cup.
Yeah, it's all about the youth, grassroots football. That's
what you have to cling on to what you can.
Yeah, Steve McLaren, yes, 4-4-2 over the top, lads. Anyway, let's get it. Enough of this club nonsense, lads. Don't want to talk anymore about club football, right? Obviously, it'd be a different story if Liverpool had won on the weekend. We are here to talk about the Ireland football team. Let's get into it. Right, lads, straight into the fixtures. Armenia this Saturday. That is a 2:00 kickoff. Obviously, that is in Yerevan. I won't be going. Thank you, Go to Gate and Putin. Ukraine on the 8th. Home and Lansdowne Road. Can't wait for that, chaps. Scotland on the 11th. That's also at home. Ukraine on the 14th. That is away. That is in Lodz in Poland. And then in September, we have Scotland on the 24th away in Glasgow. Armenia on the 27th at home and a friendly to be confirmed in November. I'm actually kind of dreading this match coming up on Saturday because then I have to change that graphic. And that is a pain in the arse. Ireland chasing the first ever Nations League win. I'm absolutely flying form today, lads. Nick, you have done some wonderful research here. We're going to have a look. Some of you out there that are probably a bit unfamiliar with Armenia at the moment. I was until Nick came with his great notes here. We're going to just go through.
Are you looking for something off me, Dave? You looking for something off me?
I'll tell you.
Very complimentary today.
Well, I'm feeling good. You know, I've been rowing with everybody today. Around that Kevin Higgins fella on Twitter. he fucked me off. A few other people as well. So I thought I'm going to be nice for a change today.
You just want to live from the airport next week. That's all it is.
Actually, now that you mention it, that would be greatly appreciated. Right, let's get into it. Armenia, some little facts and figures. So, where are they in the world? They are 92nd in the world. They are managed by former Sevilla coach Joaquin Caparros. 1 win in the last 10. That was against Montenegro. They've lost 6 of those 10. Last outing was a 9-0 loss to Norway, and they played with a fluid 4-4-2, which sometimes alternates into a 4-3-3. Oh, I like that. A fluid 4-4-2, not a static one. Some more facts and figures for us here, lads. Henrik Mkhitaryan has recently retired, so I don't think we really cared. 35% of the team, according to Transfer Market, is non-Armenian born. Number of different nationalities, including Colombians with Angulo and Jordi Monroy, Argentinians, Magarian and Brasco, who plays for Boca Juniors, who actually we're going to get back to because he might be missing. We also have Lucas Zalarian, who was the MLS All-Star last year. That's the guy that's missing, actually, isn't it?
Yeah, that's him, yeah.
Yeah. And we have other nationalities, including Russian, Swedish, Georgian, Ukrainian, German, and Nigerian. So quite a smorgasbord of nationalities there. So, Nick, on your quest for facts about Armenia. Do we have anything to worry about? And are we going to get our first win of the Nations League ever?
Yeah, look, they're very they kind of epitomize the further east in Europe you go, you get these slick, solid teams with very little end product, and that eventually get broken down when they get tired, don't they? And I've gone through a few clips of them. I watched back highlights of the 9-0 against Norway. Yeah, as I said, like they're all very comfortable on the ball, which is the fascinating thing about them. They remind me a little bit of Georgia. Obviously, we've played Georgia a good few times in the last 10 years, haven't we? So, look, we should beat them. I don't think they're stronger than Luxembourg or Azerbaijan. That Azerbaijan team is very difficult to break down, until we kind of broke the deadlock, weren't they? So it's going to be a similar kind of outing against them. Kenny would have done his homework. As I said, the lad who plays in the MLS, he's injured. He's their kind of star player. Mkhitaryan's retired. They, as I said, their big thing is their end product. Nice on the ball, comfortable on the ball. Yeah, that lad there is Zalarian.
The MVP of the MLS.
Yeah, but he's gone. So they're no luck for them. And I mean, their record speaks for itself, doesn't it? They've only won, I think, 1 or 2 games over the last 3 years. And I mean, when we played them in Dublin, and in Yerevan, for the 2012 qualifiers, they're a very tricky team, weren't they? That was kind of their golden generation. And a lot of that team had hammered our 21s, I think, around 2007, 2008. So they were all coming through. That was like Mkhitaryan. There's a few lads who went on to play for Shakhtar Donetsk and further afield. So no, I wouldn't be too worried. I think they'll be very stubborn. I think they'll be hard to break down, but I think we should have enough to get our first Nations League win against them.
Martin, first Nations League win?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's interesting. The challenge I think we're going to have with this is, our players should be very fresh coming off the back of the end of the season. I've seen a lot of them have been on holiday, but they've all joined up now today and stuff. So
where were they on holiday? Greece, wasn't it? Or was that the
Mykonos seem to be the place of choice for footballers this year. You've seen a lot of Instagram posts, everything like that seems to be there. But look, we're not making a massive thing of that. I think, they just go and have a break. They're spending time with family and things like that. Most of them are anyway. And I think they all joined up today. They've been probably taking it very seriously, I imagine, going back into Kenny's kind of environment of, welcoming back some of the new players who joined up as well, like the likes of Obafemi. So a bit made of that on social media of how he's joined up and how happy he looks and things like that. But, I'd expect the quality just to shine through here. I think it will take us a little bit of time to get going. But then I think, we should be far too good for these, to be honest. And that's not just me. That's not me getting carried away and being really over positive. I just think, look, they're 92nd in the world. I think I'm not expecting us to absolutely hammer them, but I think we will get a result. And we've got to remember this is the first game of 4. So it'll be interesting what way Kenny approaches it. But it's a away game as well. You'll have I don't know what their attendances will be like and stuff, but, we'll have an Irish fans there as well will be in good support, I'm sure. So I can see us just settling into the game, and perhaps a set piece might get us going, and then we might see us being able to play.
Some comments coming through here. Tim Rogerson, Callum Robinson will score first half. He was one of the players, wasn't he? He was part of the press junket, I suppose, the press conferences today. I was going through the press conference, both press conference. Well, I wasn't there, obviously. I was back here in London. Not really. It's amazing, isn't it, when a team is going well? We're 10 games undefeated now, aren't we?
Yeah.
So it's like 10 or 11 games undefeated. So there's no real story, is there? People are sort of probing and pressing. I think one asked Callum Robinson about the whole COVID thing. You watched that as well, Martin, didn't you? I mean, what's all that about? Like,
I think it's kind of gone, isn't it? I think to be fair, Callum Robinson back then put himself forward. He puts himself up for the press. He probably is one of our most senior players now. Certainly the one in the starting 11. And he puts himself up there. He's very honest, as he was that time as well. He got hammered for it. Then he shut him up when he got the hat trick, obviously, and was in brilliant form then. So a fair play to him standing up again. Didn't really learn too much today. It's the start of the camp. It's just talking about who's in there, and some of the clips the FAI do on the social media is quite good. It shows some of the brilliant saves and some of the moves and things like that. It shows it's interesting. You see the managers and coaches moving around the pitch and things. Some good stuff on that. I know we had a little chat, didn't we, on Messenger earlier, just on how that kind of stuff goes. It's a bit repetitive now, to be fair, but it's interesting seeing like the bond between the players all joining up and stuff. Obafemi seemed very welcome back into the camp. Ebiseli as well. So I'm very positive for it, and I can just see, us getting a good result here and starting off. There's nothing really in these press conferences we're going to learn because they've not done anything yet. There's no injuries or anything yet. Yeah.
And nothing me happening. Let's just go into some of the comments here, lads. Daryl Connor, Story lads. Story Daryl. Alex Watt. Nick. What score are we going to win on?
9-0. 9-0. No.
9-0.
I don't know. Like, I mean, I'd say a 2-0 or a 3-0 or something. It's very, very hard to know because it's away. It's probably going to be very hot there. Don't know if that makes any difference because they've all been in Mykonos. But no, I say it like we could steamroll them. I mean, if they're low on morale, and I mean they're coming off the back of a 9-0 loss to Norway and
missing their best player.
Missing their best player, their best ever player probably has just retired. If we get an early goal, we could absolutely steamroll them. I think it'll be a routine kind of 3-0 win for us.
I reckon
I can't see them scoring. They've no end product really, but who knows?
I'm feeling a 3-1, Martin. What?
Yeah, I'll go 3-0. Yeah, I think it'll be comfortable 3-0 though. It might take us a little bit of time to get going. Might be 1-0 up first half, and then I think we'll just get. They'll tire later on as well, I think. And like I said, it's really interesting to see how Kenny approaches it with rotation of players who he brings in and stuff like that, and gives people game time because. They are, at the end of the day, they are ranked 92nd in the world. They've come off the back of a hammer, and I think it's an opportunity to give game time and rotate. And we need some of our players to really step up, start scoring. Like Will Keane. Can he do it? He should be doing it against them anyway.
Will Keane, who's been linked apparently with Club Bruges in the Champions League next season. I don't quite believe that, quite frankly. Let's have some more comments. Alex Watt, I think 3-0 Ireland, hopefully. Good man, Alex. That's what we like to hear. Declan, always listening. The legendary Declan Finnegan. He would be happy with 1-0 win, start of the campaign. Yeah, just a win. A win would do. Just a good win. Yeah, a win.
I think, I think it'd be really positive if we get a good win, but because it will just kickstart it. I think a 1-0 will be looked at as, and if we struggle to that 1-0,
you don't want to last minute.
There's a bit of pressure on Kenny then saying, "Oh, well, let's see what's changed and stuff." And he hasn't. What excuses has he really got to say, why haven't they kind of hammered this team? I mean, they'll be set up. They'll be difficult to break down, I think, initially, but then hopefully the quality will come through.
And end of season as well. So I mean, you'd hope that the lads are rested after being in Mykonos and Dubai and so on. But it's been a very long season, hasn't it? I mean, the Sheffield United lads were really the only ones involved in the playoffs, weren't they? So you'd hope that they're fresh and they're ready to make an impression now.
Absolutely. Daryl O'Connor, how are you, Daryl? Cullen suspended for the Armenia one, but I prefer to have him played in the next three after. Pace and creativity needed to break Armenia as weak opposition down, in my opinion. So we know Josh Cullen isn't going to play. We know he's suspended. So let's have a little look at the squad, lads. What are we going to do for the midfield? I mean, it's probably it is without a shadow of a doubt our weakest link, the midfield. He's our best player. He's first name on the team sheet, basically.
I think Malumbi's going to come in there. He's got a new string of games, hasn't he? Look, Malumbi isn't really for me. I think this international window is going to be huge for him because I think he's going to get the opportunity on Saturday. I mean, Alan Brown is a Kenny favourite, isn't he? And I kind of hope it will be maybe Jason Knight and Harahan. I think that's a nice bit of balance. Like I know I slated Harahan after the Lithuania game, but I think it's lovely balance. Harahan being a left footer, Knight being able to get up the pitch a bit quicker. I think Hendrick is probably be Hendrick and Malumbi, to be honest. But Malumbi's but Malumbi's kind of the more defensive minded out of all those players.
Who are you going for, Martin?
What, in goal? I think Bazunu starts, doesn't he?
No. I'm midfield.
Oh, sorry. Midfield. Sorry.
I want to know what's your favourite goal.
I was actually just checking something there. I wanted to check.
I just had you bored.
No, it was. I
want to know what your favourite goal is from an opposition, by the way.
God, yeah.
You had a whole week to think about that. I haven't forgotten, son.
No. All right. I'll tell you my goal, my favorite goal for the opposition. I do actually know, and I saw it today actually. And why it's a good goal. But yeah, sorry, on the midfield. I was just checking, is Cullen suspended? Because I've read bits that he's not, but is he definitely
He is for the first game, he is, yeah.
Yeah, because that carried on. Because I wasn't sure about
Kenny
that.
said it. If Stephen Kenny says it, it's true.
Well, listen, after Paul McGrath, he could be our new god. So we do listen. Right, midfield, sorry. Yeah, who do I think will be in there? I think he'll go with Jeff in there anyway. And I think he'll probably go with... I think there's something about Brown he seems to like, doesn't he? I think he could
unfortunately
a little bit. He could be afford to be a little bit. But this game is going to remind me a little bit of when we played Andorra and that tour, the game that really kick-started probably Kenny when we came back and won that game. So I think he might stay very safe here. He could have like Horahan, Brown, and Hendrick. I think Knight will have to be in there though as well. So it's a mix of a lot of them, and that's one of the things I struggle with our midfield. And I think we said it at the start when we seen the squad announced, is it can be a mix of many. They're very much the same, a lot of them, apart from perhaps Knight and Cullen, who I would always have in there. But the rest of them, they're not. They're around the same level, really, aren't they? You know they're going to be doing a safe job.
Like Horahan and Brown started the Lithuania game, and they were brutal. But I think just for balance, I think Horahan and Knight. I'd actually go with a midfield three. I'd probably go with a midfield three just to hang on to the ball a bit.
Here's what Carl has at the bottom of your screen: Alan Brown, Cullen, and Robinson and McLean are midfield for sure. Don't think Cullen won't be playing anyway, and I think McLean is going to be left back, isn't he? Or
left back, and Robinson be in the front three, won't he? So
I do think though someone like McLean would probably be better utilized against a team like Armenia, actually further up the field. He would tear them apart with his fitness.
Oh, absolutely. I think 3 years ago, if you put James McLean on the wing against Armenia, he would have been completely ineffective. He's playing with so much more. Yeah, he's playing with so much more control under Kenny, isn't he? And even for Wigan, and I mean all the great football that he's playing, and the reason that he got their Player of the Year, the reason he got into the League One Team of the Year, is because he was playing further up. And I never rated him up front. I said years ago he should be playing left back, and he'll do a job there. Like he's good in the air. He's very physical. But I think if you put James McLean into that front three, not only do you get balance with a left footer, but you also get a goal threat. Like he's an excellent finisher, McLean, and I think a lot of people forget that. Great delivery. Yeah. I think Enda Stevens, if he's fit, he should be starting at left wing back. That's a specialized position. McLean's some fine there. But I mean, if you want to put out your strongest 11, you have to put Enda Stevens left wing back. And whether McLean starts or not, I don't know. But going on form, I think if you had him in that front three, he's going to be a goal threat for you. Maybe not a creative threat, but definitely a goal threat.
Let's have a look here. Irish Football Blog. Hello, Irish Football Blog. Saw you got your FAI pass, by the way, today. Hey.
Oh.
Hey. You got your card, but not as a chick magnet like this. But anyway, yes, he says he would love us to try a 4-1-2-2-1. Wow.
Kind of like a I'm trying to visualize that. It's like a 4-3-3, isn't it? But it's a bit more narrow.
I mean, I'd imagine you have Cullen if he was playing. You'd have him in the one bit, the four, obviously a flat back four.
I'd actually have I go with it. Like he's gonna go with a back five, isn't he? But I think against teams like this, you have to hold on to the ball. So that's why I said three in midfield. If you went 5-3-2, I think that's the way to go in away to Armenia. But if you four at the back and play with three in midfield or that 1-2 kind of variation, I think that would set us up very nicely. But unfortunately, I don't think Henry's going to do it. I think he's going to be quite rigid with the formation. But who knows? I mean, he did it against Andorra, didn't he? He went with four at the back.
Well, he continues. So obviously with wide wingers and one centre forward, and then you've got also here Cullen, Malumbi, and Knight. Obviously, Cullen is suspended for the first game. But yeah, I see that actually. Cullen, the defensive midfielder in that three.
Very dynamic midfield, that isn't it? Yeah. A lot of movement there.
1, 6, and 2, 8. Yeah, so 6 defensive midfielder and 2 sort of attack minded. I like that, by the way.
Absolutely, yeah.
That. I do like that. Hold on. Wait. Breaking news. Kieran Boyle That's a beat us down for Memorial Day here, but still, hashtag away to Jesus with Umbro. Hashtag bring back Adidas. Lads have thrown it out there again. Best goal for the away team at Lansdowne. I surely we're passing a clean era. Actually, do you know what? Let's do it now. Martin, I want to hear it. What's your favourite goal at Lansdowne Road scored by an away team?
Oh, was it at Lansdowne Road? Oh, sorry. I
No, I have to wait another week now.
The goal I was going to talk about is actually and why, because obviously I've been doing a little bit of research on this 20 years on for the World Cup, but Miroslav's closest goal in the Germany game. Just, I'd never really realised how similar that was, if you think about it, to Robbie Brady's goal in Lille.
Yeah, in swinger, yeah.
In swinging ball, but it's very difficult skill to obviously execute that. Like you're running onto it and you actually header it. Which it just, that's why I mentioned that today. And also it's like this is an odd kind of, this is like I didn't do my homework and I saw something today and I'll just pass that off as my favorite goal, basically.
Okay,
I'm being honest, but no, it was very odd. Kieran. No, honestly, it just brought it back to me that similarity between those two goals.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Sorry, I will do my homework
properly. End of the podcast to tell Kieran, because he's waited a week now.
Right. Okay.
To tell Kieran, don't let Kieran down.
No.
Don't let your country down, Martin. Until the end of this podcast to tell him what your favourite goal by an opposition team or player is at Lansdowne Road. And yeah, in terms of also his point there, surely Prass McLean era, not quite, but I think we're getting there.
I don't think McLean
should offer.
I don't think McLean. They're going to get him to 100 caps whether he's playing well or not. But I mean, look, he's in so much form, and he's like people have to look at how much he's transformed his game at the age of whatever. What's he now? 32, 33. Like he's playing almost a completely different game. He's so much more controlled. I think Stephen Kenny has to take a lot of credit with that. But you know, I think he's definitely still in the squad. I wouldn't have him starting personally, but I mean, look, you can't ignore him. He's in form. He's had a great season. You know, I know it's in League One, but I think he'll do just fine next season.
Okay. Just on the away goal thing here. Actually, I tell you what, this is why I love this page. By the way, sorry to cut it in there. Burnham Fathom. Yeah. Georgie Hadji for Armenia in 98. That was a fucking humdinger. Do you remember? You weren't born, Nick, but do you remember that one, Martin? Was that showing on English telly, was it?
Well, exactly. That's the thing. I probably was struggling to see that one. And
Joe Sidbeck.
They're all coming up now. They're all doing the homework for me. This is good.
They are. Someone has to, don't they?
Which one was the Sidbeck one? The one that lobbed Pikey Bonner, was it? I wasn't born for that either, but
no, that was 93.
Oh, right.
He's on about 80. That one, 85, is Owen Hand's last game where we lost 4-1. Oh, he was leaving anyway.
Oh, that was for US 94. Yeah, my bad.
Yeah.
Amateur.
See what I'm up against, lads. You see what I'm up against there? Just holding that shit together as the water comes flying in. Carl O'Brien, 5-4-1. Robinson, McLean on the wing, Obafemi up top, Parrott behind. It's an interesting one.
I think these are obviously very good teams and stuff like that we're picking here, but I think I just get the kind of impression. I think Kenny's very loyal. I think he'll go with someone to get the team to get a result first off, and then he can start maybe. I think this is a massive thing, getting this win in the Nations League and get our whole campaign on start. Otherwise, he's under a lot of pressure. I can't see him being too experimental in a way. I think it'd be very similar to what set up and got us the result in Luxembourg. And I think it'd be very, very, that's what I would be expecting to kind of see. I think he experimented a little bit with the March games. And I think, you know, the likes of Ogbene is going to start, isn't he? I don't think he's going to drop him. Callum Robinson will start as well. So, all right, Cullen's an issue of who we get in there instead of him, but I think he'll go tried and tested there with very experienced players in midfield who will just control the game in midfield and let the pace happen. You know, I think it's a massive opportunity, this one, for Obafemi as well, because I think he will give him time, because he surely should. He's got to get him going, hasn't he? And a little bit away from Dublin as well, maybe the first game, a little bit of pressure off.
Should be starting.
Yeah, he might. Will he go that experimental though? I don't know. Do you know?
He won't, but he should be.
He won't. But yeah, he should probably start him. But you could easily think he could go with Robinson up top, couldn't he, and McLean on the left, easily do that.
Okay. Let's have a look at some more comments. We're going to move it on to the social media. Here's the best one. from Irish Football Vlog. Enjoyed the argument today, I must say. Classic Twitter. You get it. You get it. I mean, it was like I was on my way into London. I was on the train and I saw the comments, and I have a captive audience here now. Probably not for much longer.
No, you'll be cancelled soon, Dave.
Oh, and I just basically just said, you want to reduce emissions and free up motor cars and stuff. And yeah, anyway, I'm not going to get into it. But yeah, what a fucking bell. Not you, Irish Football Vlogs. You're a good lad. Right, lads. Actually, I was going to say let's move away from social media, but that's actually what we're going to move into. Social media watch. Oh, by the way, another comment there. What time is the game going to be on at? Bernard.
2 p.m. Irish time.
2 p.m. Yeah.
2 p.m. So basically, that will be 6 p.m. Local time because they're 4 hours ahead of us there anyway. So should be good. It is on RT2. We are going to have, because none of us are going to it.
Thanks to who?
Putin and my good old friends at GoToGate.com. Do not use GoToGate.com, folks. They are bastards. Anyway, but yes, so 2 o'clock. It's on RTE. All Nations League games are shown on RTE in the Republic of Ireland. They are shown on Premier Sports in the UK, sadly, or just get a dodgy connection, or go to your local Irish pub. They're not on Sky Sports anymore, just in case you're wondering. We will have a pre-show for you before the game when the starting lineup is announced. We'll do like a little 15-20 minutes, bit of foreplay, bit of pre-match foreplay, and then we will have, second that match is finished, we will be back on here with our reaction and with your reaction too. As always, we're interactive lads, unlike a certain person on Twitter today who might... We actually welcome feedback, we welcome engagement, and we welcome a good old row. Well, I do anyway. I love a row. Anyway. And you're most welcome, Bernard, as he says. Cheers. Right, lads, let's move it on to social media. Jesus, I've had enough of social media for one day. Right, so what have we found? Trolling through the ashes, through the avarice that is Twitter. Well, actually, a bit of happy news here, lads, for once. On Saturday, did you know Robbie Keane? He wasn't working for the FAI on Saturday. Oh, no. He was at the Champions League final, and here he is with Ronaldo, the real Ronaldo, the proper Ronaldo. And Robbie actually looking quite dapper there, isn't he? Those of you who probably don't remember, but Ronaldo, he was fucking good, wasn't he, Martin?
He was unbelievable.
He was.
That fella's incredible. It's worth looking back at his highlight reel, to be honest. He's proper old school footballer, like street footballer, wasn't he? I think.
Oh yeah, tough as nails.
Some of that stuff. And yeah, and to be fair, came back from some serious injuries and still got it back, to that levels and stuff. Yeah, look, well worth watching some of his stuff. And he knows Robbie, doesn't he? So they played together, did they not? Did they not play together? I think they might have been.
Inter Milan, maybe, yeah.
Yeah, I think they were.
Maybe they did, yeah.
But look, a bit harsh there, perhaps, David, that he might have been on FAI business. How do you know he wasn't? He's an ambassador for our country, Robbie, and he might have been. He is very, very highly respected with UEFA, and the analysis of the Champions League he might have been doing that because he did do reports after the Euros.
Did he now?
Yeah, well, he did. And I'd like to see his report, obviously, because sometimes managers don't like the fact that you don't open up tactically against a team, and one shot can win a game, as we know.
What wasn't our CEO, who I don't really know, I've forgotten his name because I don't really see him on Twitter, to be fair, unlike another CEO, Noel Mooney, just saying, he was constantly engaging with fans. Our CEO doesn't seem to be doing that at the moment. He was enamored with Robbie, with his reports and his engagement with other people. Anyway, no, Robbie. I'm giving him a little bit of benefit there on that. To be fair, and Darrell O'Connor, he is copying. But he's not wearing the same panache. He's not. He's really not. Good man, Darrell. See, he gets it. He totally gets it. Right, let's move on. Oh, another Irishman who a Liverpool legend. was there in Paris on Saturday. He didn't have quite a joyous experience for totally different reasons anyway. But there's obviously a lot of reports coming out from Paris. The French are blaming Liverpool fans and the British government and Sky Sports actually are blaming the French. And I'm sure somewhere in the middle you will get the truth. Although, to be fair, I do think the French, if they were wrong, would they admit to it? Just saying. So here's Jason McAteer. So basically, you had the head of security there at the stadium, and he's responding to the tweet, which is in French, actually, but you can kind of make it out there. Supporters, Britanniques, San Billet, which Billet, I believe, is a ticket.
Yeah.
Faux Billet, which obviously I'd imagine is fake tickets. Violent. Yeah, so you can force, you can kind of read all these things. So it's obviously a very negative portrayal. And Jason McAteer responds, "You should be ashamed and disgusting with the total lack of competence your police force and stewards showed at this showpiece final. Your country should never be given the opportunity to host again. UEFA.com accountable just as much. Hashtag LFC." Well, I'd imagine Jason McAteer, some of his tweets there wasn't very clear there anyway. But then you have the opposite, actually. Oh, bugger, I haven't put him up. But Jim Beglin, did you?
Yeah, I've seen his stuff. Yeah, I would have taken what Jim Beglin said. I mean, look, I've seen footage. I've seen enough footage of it, and you are going to see different viewpoints and stuff. And I've seen videos of Liverpool fans attacking fans outside. I've seen videos of people being mugged and stuff like little innocent. Well, look, football fans going there. Liverpool fans will go in there for. The vast majority we're going to get into the final. Look, I think the key point for me on this is that it just shows you they've learned nothing from Euro 2020 final at Wembley. These places should be locked down around the stadium. You shouldn't the locals should not be able to even go around and even trying to get in, because that caused loads of crap there. There's loads of videos of French people jumping in and getting in past, like giving people kisses on the gate and stuff, knowing people being let in, and then they're criticizing the stewards the communication. This is now international tournaments. And it's relevant for us as Irish fans, is that there should be clear communication going out, coming out of a stadium, a metro station, or wherever it is. You should know where your seating area is. They've got to police it. It was a lot better, I think, when we played there against Sweden, by all accounts. I know a few Irish fans who went there. I spoke to a friend of mine on Sunday. He was able to get in. I messaged him during the game. I know this guy, sound as anything, never wouldn't have been on the piss and lashed up or anything like that. And he said, like, we had tickets. There was just no communication out there. We were penned in and we were just tear gassed for nothing, like literally nothing.
And the French police don't like English football. But I
mean, it's UEFA have completely messed this up. And look, we can you'll have some people giving out and saying, "Oh, they're hiding the truth and stuff." I'm happy now that they've announced they're going to do an independent kind of review of it, which they did after Euro 2020. I'm sure that will happen. There's no doubt, though, it's a combination of everything. There would have been fans there with fake tickets. There would have been locals trying to get in and got in, causing trouble as well. There would have been, I think you've got to lock down these areas around them, have ticket cordons that you've got to get past 2 or 3 to get around the stadium. And if you have that, now I know they had that at Wembley in 2020, but you'll still get people getting past. But it should limit it and it should put people off, and that's what's got to be done. I mean, I've been at European finals. I know what it's all about. And I'm glad that I wasn't at this one. And it does worry me, though, as a fan who brings a young kid to a football with me. And we've had shit experiences before.
I don't think you've had any club European finals for a while, Martin.
The last two major football finals have been a shit show. And France seem to, I don't know how, but like they're hosting absolutely everything this decade. Like they're hosting the Euros, they're hosting the Rugby World Cup. They hosted the Rugby Championship there on the final on Saturday in Marseille. The Champions League, I think they've more bits and pieces that they seem to be hosting everything this decade. So it's going to reflect very badly as an early start for them.
It would have been at Wembley, only that the playoff finals are on. That's what they say now, don't they? They're saying it would have been at Wembley because Wembley could hold a match tomorrow. They could get the infrastructure there. All right, they would. I think they do a better job now. Wembley, I think if they got another major tournament now, or a final, they would have to police it a lot better. They've learned. They surely have learned. And I don't think
the one at Wembley last year was, and I've worked at Wembley for years. They just forgot. It was like they had forgotten how to police an event or work an event. It was incredible.
the fact of that was it wasn't a full capacity final as well. So once you got in, you had places to stand and hide. I mean, if you look back at that European final the other day, it got pointed out to me actually watching the game. But the Madrid end, you could actually see the clear walkways up they had the blue carpet kind of thing. And when you looked at the Liverpool end, it was chock-a-block basically. Yeah, people. So now, and I'm not going to blame Liverpool fans, all of them, for it, because it was just, again, it's just a perfect storm. All these things come together.
Every time I've worked at a big match, you get people like at Wembley, wherever, you get fans of Liverpool, of United, of Everton trying to tailgate, trying to get in. It happens. Yeah. It happens at every game. It's not just this one. Obviously, there was clear breach. I mean, I've been to Saint Denis myself, and it's not locked off. Like, it's completely open. You know, if I remember, like, it's completely hollow. So there's ways to sneak in, and that security wouldn't be great.
It's an absolute. Let's be honest as well. France is an absolute shithole, so that's why as well. Paris is an absolute shithole. There's a kip of the place around that Saint Denis. It's an absolute kip. We were there when we left after the Henry handball, and you know, even that organisation that night, we were brought into the metro. Remember, it went to extra time. They brought us down into metro. The metro wasn't even running. They just don't give a shit. They think you're not our problem now. You're out of the stadium, and that was with Ireland fans who had a fantastic reputation. Just shows you that's what they think.
I mean, Declan's even said it there. Doesn't help the stadiums in Saint Denis, which is a densely populated, mainly social housing. Yeah, it is very. It's a very, very rough area. I actually I did find Jim Beglin's tweet here. Have a read of this. Post-match last night was the scariest I've ever experienced. Organised gang set about mugging departing fans. We ran a gauntlet of thuggery on our way to the metro. Not a police officer in sight. Witnessed so many ambush attacks on unsuspecting attendees. Reprehensible at your way to. Even in distress. He sounds so elegant, doesn't he, Jim?
He does.
He really does, doesn't he?
I don't know. What's the opening line of that? I don't know about that.
Post-match last night.
Oh,
no,
I don't agree.
That's not true. No, you know what it is, don't you, Nick?
Yeah,
his scariest experience was.
I think Jim Beglin's scariest experience was
bombshell.
Was some fanboy following him around Gibraltar.
I rang up. See, what I did was before. Don't tell Jim this if he's watching. I'm sure he's not. I phoned up a month before.
He's not.
I found out where he was staying and got as close to him as possible. When he left the room, I sniffed the sheets.
This is all going to be played in court. In a few years.
I'm not helping myself.
Beglin versus Dunn.
Yeah.
The stalking trial.
I always remember that. I think I've got a stalker now. I was like, no. Oh, I'm just joking.
Great impression, actually.
Is he? Yeah. Majestic.
Very good. You know him very well. Very good.
Yeah, I do, actually. I listen to his voice recordings. Yeah. Jim Belgium. Also, just before that, I was at a family barbecue, and my sister, very lovingly, handed me a bar of Dairy Milk Golden Crisp. I was very pleased about this Dairy Milk Golden Crisp because you can't really get it here in London. It is an Irish, obviously Dairy Milk is from Birmingham, Bourneville, but they do have certain bars that are exclusive to that country, and Golden Crisp is actually exclusive mostly to Ireland. And I was very happy, and I shared this on Lansdowne Road, that picture, and then I got this. How angry do you have to be to have an issue with a Golden Crisp bar? I had a row with a guy as well on the Saturday. I would have shown his comments, but he deleted them because you know the way Roy Keane actually was at Cove Ramblers over the weekend, and he's watching them play his former team before he signed to Nottingham Forest in 1990. And anyway, so I shared it. It came up on the thing, and I was like, "Oh, you're a Roy Keane fanboy. You're up his arse and all this." Now, if anyone listens to this, we all know Martin is the fanboy, as I said, firmly up, not me. And it wasn't his post. And I was like, "Well, we try to be balanced." And he's like, "Well, there's more than one player that's played for Ireland." I said, "Yeah, well, I tried to give praise to the Irish team in 1987 that beat Brazil, saying that we had a stronger team than Brazil, a much stronger team than Brazil at the time, which we did. And you called me a clown." And he did, this guy. And I said, "Well, you were a clown for saying that." I was like, for fuck's sake. But and then he started naming off, "Oh, you don't know anything about football." He started naming off like 3 players that weren't even on the pitch. And then he had 2 players, including Socrates, who had actually retired the year previous. So anyway, yeah, angry young man. And we got some comments on the Golden Crisp. Daryl O'Connor, he's only bitter. He's only a bitter Brit. He can't get a golden crisp in England. He is. He must be. Declan Finnegan Golden Crisp and Mint Crisp are available in several Morrisons and Tesco. I did not know that. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Declan.
they have on the international aisle. I was going to say that.
Did they?
International aisle
now. They have an international aisle. Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah, they did.
That's
And
brilliant.
that's where they have a bit of that soda bread and all that kind of stuff. Hey, Chef
EU
sauce.
oil.
Yeah.
On the McCambridge one. Oh my God. I tell you what. And here's another one actually. This is going to go in the next one. I'm over in Ireland, obviously, being a media zone. Adding to this, baby. Just saying. I'm going to be like Mr. T by the end of the year. And well, basically, yeah, just be very careful if you are traveling out of Dublin Airport, by the way, going to Armenia, because Dublin Airport is a shit heap at the moment. Yesterday, they were actually, did you notice, lads, they were actually dragged in front of Doyle Aaron, in front of the TDs. They didn't do what John Delaney did and bring the note from his ma to excuse himself from it. They actually were told that you have to go back tomorrow to come up with a plan to stop the madness that we're having at Dublin Airport. So if you are traveling out to Yerevan or wherever you're traveling out on Saturday, at least 3 days early.
Before the army get involved.
I'll tell you, they should have the army involved. They should have the army involved. And it just makes sense just until they've got national clearance. I don't see what they don't have security clearance. I'm fucking worried, that's for sure. No disrespect to the army. I have all my family from Mullingar actually all in the barracks. But I don't want to show that one. Yeah, Dublin Airport. So this was the warning yesterday. Due to significant queues inside the terminal for check-in, bag drop, security, passengers queuing outside the terminal may not make their flight and may need to contact the airline to rebook. We sincerely apologize for the obvious frustration and inconvenience this may cause. So yet again, just be careful. What I love about though Dublin Airport is that on their Twitter handle they have this: Dublin Airport's award-winning Twitter feed.
Jesus Christ.
What was that? They probably won it in the Dublin Airport Awards.
Probably did, yeah. It was probably arrived late as well. Ewan McGregor actually. Ewan McKenna. Ewan McGregor. Ewan McKenna is he's quite he's quite polarizing, isn't he? He's sort of burnt every bridge possible, but he did come up with a funny tweet, although controversial. You won't need security staff in Dublin Airport at this rate. No hijacker is going to queue that long.
Wow.
Wow.
We do.
That's very Ewan McKenna.
We do fly very close to the wind here. Carl O'Brien, you are a bloody clown. Hell, they had a great team. We had Brady. Oh, thanks, Carl. They didn't have a great team. And I just want to say, Carl, actually, they got to the quarterfinals of 1986. Mexico didn't do very well. I think they won the Copa America in 89, but actually had a terrible, only got to the second round and were actually lambasted by the public in 1990. They didn't have a great team at all around that time. They would have a great team, but not at that time. So, yeah. I wonder if that's your man in disguise, actually. Daryl O'Connor. Flying to Poland early Sunday after Scotland match at about 7:30 flight. God knows how early I'll have to be there. I'd start queuing now, Daryl.
Yeah, straight after the Scotland match, I'd say.
Yeah. Carl O'Brien, but then I'm a clown because when Keane left Saipan, I thought we could win the cup and Brazil had Ronaldo, Rivaldo, and Ronaldinho up top. Yeah.
All right, yeah.
We'll
no, but I mean, this is a concern, though, this airport crap.
Yeah.
Right? And they do need to sort it out because, like, I'm flying in. I'm doing the in and out job on the Scotland game. So yeah. And,
for the football or just
yeah, there you go. You know, like that's I'm just hoping that because it's one of the last flights out of the airport that night that most people will be gone through by then or not. Because they can't wait. They'll be obviously settled down for the night maybe as I'm coming through. But yeah, I mean it's a worry though, because it just fucks up your whole travel. Like how
it's appalling.
This day and age, arriving 3 hours before, and I was lucky enough the last time I went back from an Ireland game, and it was I had fast track and stuff. It was 2-3 hours, just barely made it still. So just crap.
Dublin Airport epitomizes Ireland.
Yeah,
it's a microcosm of Ireland. A fucking mess.
Here's the thing, like. We're supposed to be hosting the Euros, or is it the World Cup or the Euros or something? We're trying
Euros,
to
yeah.
2035. No, I'd imagine this will be all cleared up, but like, we have some serious work to do. Like there's no big festival going on in Ireland.
It's gonna end up being that bid is going to leave very swiftly without us unless we sort a lot of stuff out.
Yeah. A valid thing though with this shit show of this going on though is a lot of the FAI should be coming out with this now and saying we've got however many fans are travelling from Dublin to support Ireland in these games coming up or coming in for the games and going back out or whatever they're doing. What assurances are they getting about fans travelling? Now I'm not asking for kind of special treatment for Irish fans, but that is a very relevant thing. And that's again, there's no voice from the FAI actually putting a hand up and saying, look, this is something of a concern for us. There's not even any official advice to us as travelling fans saying what you should do and look, allow this and stuff. You know, there should be more engagement between our powers that be. I think, David. Can you have a word when you're in the prawn sandwich bit next week?
Yeah, well, we used to get lovely lasagna and chips, but now we sort of get like a lunch bag, which is very disappointing. But it was okay. Got to talk to Matt Holland, you know. But I'll have a word for you anyway. But to be fair, yeah, I do agree with you there. I mean, Jesus, like our football fans get treated so poorly, especially with everything that's gone on now. Could you imagine, like yesterday, 1,000 people missed their flights in Dublin Airport yesterday. Hence why they were dragged in front of the Oireachtas committee today. Dublin Airport, and then by tomorrow they have to come with a plan to sort all this out. That's going to be interesting. So it is a massive, and I'm not just saying this, it is a massive concern. I'm worried as well because I'm flying out of Gatwick the day of the game, so I'm terrified. So I might just like go the night before. Mm. So it's got me. But anyway, if you're watching, just make plans for the love of God. You know, it's been bad enough. I'm sure a lot of you out there watching this have lost money and you know, with all the fixtures being messed about, and of course, no compensation there or anything. Like it's so really somebody needs to up their game on this a lot, the way football fans are treated. But anyway, that's what I think about that. Oh yes, and also former Ireland player Stephen Reid, he was quite pleased, wasn't he? Nottingham Forest back in the Premier League for the first time since 1999, and of course Andy Reid is part of the setup there. Here he is there. Enjoy your night, Reds, back where they belong. With his, don't know about the Budweiser though, Stephen. I'm just saying. Jesus, it's piss water, isn't it? Yeah, Nottingham Forest back in the Premier League. Wasn't Chris Hughton manager of them earlier this season?
He was.
Yeah.
It's
funny,
start.
Yeah, because even like our Gaffer series, listen back to it, anyone listening now, but we kind of spoke of the amount of clubs that Irish managers had managed, and they'd either completely plummeted after they left, or they just had a massive transformation and got way better. So like this is an example of Hughton leaving Forest, and you know, very similar situation to Sunderland under Roy Keane, wasn't it? I mean, they lost the first few games of the season, then they just steamrolled and got promoted. Great to see though. Great to see them back.
Absolutely, like you know, Nottingham Forest. I mean, they're a proper club. You know, they really are a proper club. 2 European Cups and a lot of great history there. So no, it's fantastic to see them. Right, lads, we're going to wrap it up. We are going a little bit heavy on this, but just final mention on the game on the weekend. Remember, 2 p.m. It's on RTE in the Republic of Ireland. It's on Premier Sports in the UK. It's not on Sky Sports. And if you're traveling to Yerevan, just leave early, and we won't be going to, but we're going to have a bit of pre-game foreplay just before the game, just when the squad is announced or the starting lineup's announced, and obviously we'll be straight back on for post-match reaction. So we can't wait to hear your thoughts. And if we lose, blame the other two because they were too cocky. They're all good. Right, lads, we're coming to the end. We're going to have a little bit of retrospective. And here's one for you, actually. So a bit different. Normally we have like a clip or whatever, but got a bit of this for you. On this day in 1988, Ireland's Euro 88 squad was announced. Let's have a look at it. Actually, you know what I should do? In fact, Martin, I should get you to name it.
No.
I should get Martin to name it.
No, I'm not.
Are you up for that, Martin? You can't even tell me your favourite fucking opposition goal.
I know my goal. My brain's frazzled. I know the goal though, but no.
No, you don't.
No,
right, we'll go into it. Let's have a look at this squad.
Go on.
Right. Hold on. Look at this here. So goalkeepers, Bonner, Packy Bonner, Jerry Payton in goal. Defense was Chris Morris, John Anderson, Kevin Moran, or Moran as you'd say, Martin. Nick McCarthy, Chris Hewin. In midfield, you had Paul McGrath. Yes, you had Paul McGrath in midfield. You had John Sheridan, Kevin Sheedy, Ronnie Whelan, Ray Houghton, Tony Galvin, John Byrne. You had Liam O'Brien as well. And then forwards, you had John Aldrich, Tony Cascarino, David Kelly, Niall Quinn, and the skipper, Frank Stapleton. That is an amazing squad. And funnily enough, we're actually missing Jim Beglin, who was a very up-and-coming left-back, which you probably have in there instead of Anderson. And then you would have Mark Lawrenson, probably in there instead of Chris Morris. And then, of course, you're missing Liam Brady as well, who had a 4-game ban that was actually reduced to 2 games in December. But he had a severe knee injury, and that's why he didn't travel. He traveled with the squad, but sort of like as a liaison officer kind of thing. But he wasn't actually in the squad. That is a hell of a squad. What have you got to say about that, Nick?
Well, I was -3, but yeah, look, you say it a lot, David. It's probably that kind of 1986 to 1990s, probably our best ever pool of players. Not the best 11, but like the best pool of players we've ever had in terms of quality.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, I think it's ridiculous that. I mean, Paul McGrath. I mean, David O'Leary as well. Sorry, Jesus, he wasn't even in the squad. David O'Leary, he fell out with Jack. That's an incredible squad. I mean, surely you'd probably have Houghton left back, Lawrence and right back. You'd have O'Leary and McGrath in the centre of that defense, and then you'd have like Sheedy and Whelan when they played against the Soviet Union. Sheedy and Whelan together. They only played because Paul McGrath was injured for the game against the Soviet Union. They were incredible together. Those two, they tore the Soviet Union apart. It's just quality. And then John Aldrich and Stapleton up front. Like that's a great squad. It is. Daryl, I can't take Frank Stapleton seriously after the après match version of him. Yeah, I know it's bad.
Oh, boring Frank.
I mean, he is. I mean, have you read his book? Frankly speaking, it should be called Frankly Moaning.
Yeah. Now, can I just say on Stapleton, I was at Old Trafford. I think it was 2005, and a family friend of mine had a corporate ticket thing through his work and gave it to my mum to give to me for my birthday. So my uncle and I went up, and we got like dinner, and Frank Stapleton was the speaker. And I didn't really, and my uncle was like, he's Irish, isn't he? Stapleton. I was like, yeah, because my uncle's Portuguese, like. And he said, I'll go up and I'll ask him for a photo. And I was like, no, because I was only about 13 at the time, and I was all embarrassed. And then a couple of minutes later, Stapleton came over to me, and I'd say half an hour. You know, he was only there for probably an hour, and half an hour he just spent chatting to me, have a picture with him. Just really personable. I was just an awkward 13-year-old, you know, barely stringing a sentence together, kind of starstruck, and he just,
now.
Yeah, for sure. But he just took a real interest and was just really, really personable and lovely, and that always stuck with me. I thought he was fantastic, and it was, you know, a big deal for me at the time.
Oh,
so fuck you, David.
Yeah. He does have this reputation, Stapleton. I think it kind of came a lot from the Cascarino book, didn't it? I think he kind of thought he was. I think it was. Is it Cascarino tells a story of where, you know, he's sharing with him on international duty, and he's looking through like BMW catalogs, like and of, you know, like what car he's going to get, just a bit flash who I am and all that, like against Cascarino, who basically said he had nothing at the time. He had that kind of reputation, but I've met him as well. He was all right when I met him. He was actually good as gold, to be fair. But a really good squad that back to that. I mean, it is savage. I mean, when we look back at these squads, I'm always thinking, look, we love our retrospective stuff and looking back, and you can we're judging them now on their ultimate overall careers of what they've done and stuff. But actually, in 1988, when you look at that squad being announced, a lot of them players hadn't had the careers, obviously, as what they went on and did in an Irish shirt. So look, you have to kind of think about it in that context as well. But it's a very solid squad of look. These players were really, really promising. You got to remember as well that a lot of them, they were playing at top teams in their respective clubs.
Yeah, I mean,
and captains eventually. A lot of them, or really, like European Cup winners in there. I mean, that's
Whelan, She. I mean, Larson would have been in there. He would have been, I think, a 2-time European Cup winner.
Yeah,
Whelan had played in 2 finals. Sheedy, I think, had won the Cup Winners' Cup with Everton, won league titles.
Yeah.
Aldrich had won the league. I think he was the top goal scorer in England actually that year. Bonner had won at the time at Celtic, and it wasn't a bad league then. The SPL, I think it was the Premier League back then, wasn't it? They were the Premier League in the 80s. Before they had the Premier League before the Scots did. Before the English did, and Moran and all that. So yeah, it was a cracking squad. When you think of the players.
Thinking of that though, I'm not. You're like, Jesus, like the likes of Aldridge. It was at Liverpool at that time, wasn't he? And he come off the back of the cup final and stuff, and a great record, great goal scoring record.
You don't say that about him off camera, though, do you, Martin?
No. I was just thinking at the back of.
What did you call him off camera, Martin?
No. I'm just thinking of it. 88. I'm thinking 88. So it was what final was he missed? It was that year, wasn't it?
Wimbledon, He became the first.
He'd come off the back of missing a cup final penalty.
To missing a sitter against the Soviet Union.
Yeah.
And he did. Yeah, we should have been out of stuff. We are going to cover that. I feel
and that's an interesting one. Like even just thinking about, like you don't often think about. I know we spoke about it with Roy Keane when we've done our managers things and the campaign stuff of what season the players have had coming into stuff. And I suppose it's quite important now if you think about it when the players now they're coming into it. Like John Egan is obviously going to be buzzing, isn't he? Coming in. Well, he's not. Sorry, not John Egan. He's not going to be buzzing. He's going to be disappointed. So, but it's how. Their mentality and stuff coming in. If they had a good season, or are they looking for a club? Like Cyrus Christie, that kind of thing. There's a bit of uncertainty with him coming into the Ireland squad. A bit like we had with Duffy again when he was struggling with Celtic. He came to the Ireland squad. We showed him the love basically, and it rejuvenated him. Went back at Brighton for a while. But again, it's a big. In the context of this squad now, in these next 4 games, it's really, really important for our players. They're in the shop window now, where they're going to be moving, and that they actually play in these games as well, isn't it?
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
How we got on to?
I don't know, Isel. I don't know.
Jesus Christ!
proper like side swipe.
Right, we're going to move it on. Dave Langham would have been in that squad had it not been for that bad injury. Yes, he would have. He did actually play 4 qualifiers, I do believe, in '87. And John Anderson was actually injured. But I don't know why he went for. Nothing against John Anderson, but I think it was Newcastle at the time or Sheffield Wednesday. Yeah. Well, yeah, Dave Langham really should have got in there. Anyway, well, actually, we do have a little bit of extra retrospective for Nick. We have a little surprise for you, Nick.
Oh, wow.
Do you know what it is?
Don't think
this week back in the day.
Is it 2002?
Yeah.
I mean, Gibbon shouldn't have been really given it the heart because his back was turned to begin with.
And Jeremy has let Gilban in here. That's come out to Holland. 1-1!
I'm going to cut that there, Nick, before you start taking your trousers off and all sorts of stuff going on there. Actually, after this, when we're finished there, we're going to watch an episode. We're going to watch The Rising Suns. That's if Nick's one still works with all the jizz stains all over it. If it still plays in the DVD thingy or video or whatever it is that he's watching it on. We're gonna watch that. We're gonna record it. We're gonna put it out there and see if it works. And I think it'll be good crack anyway. But you won't be able to see it. Just listen to us watching it. And Nick maybe getting a bit too happy about it. Also, we have a whole load of it. It's the 20th anniversary of 2002 World Cup. We have a whole load of podcasts. We reviewed the tournament. We reviewed Saipan. We review everything. And we've got that series coming at you. It is there's an audio version, obviously, as there will be of this podcast. That will be available on the greenmachinepodcast.com. Please subscribe to the page. That is facebook.com/GM podcast. And also give it a little bit of love to Lansdowne Road, unless you're Kevin Higgins, which is / he's made it. He's down with goatsgate.com. He's made an enemy of me. Shall we say? We're going to see you guys on Saturday, just as the first team is announced. That's going to be about 1 o'clock. Don't forget the 2 p.m. kickoff. So it's about 1 o'clock. We're going to be back with the starting lineup. Get your thoughts on that. We're going to go away, watch the match, come back straight away, and we're going to get your thoughts on that as well and hear what you think about it and see how we go. And hopefully 3 points. And as before we go, Darrell O'Connor, see you at the 3 points. Enjoy. Lads, thanks for coming on. Thank you at home for watching. There will be an audio version of this podcast. As I said, will be better on Green Machine podcast, the greenmachinepodcast.com. Guys, we'll see you Saturday. Have fun. God bless. And we'll see you later.